Welcome to Important Updates, your trusted source for breaking headlines, global insights, and sharp analysis from around the world. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update. I bet you didn't know just how close Egypt came to joining the elite club of F-35 operators. In 2022, Egypt's Air Force officials watched footage of the American F-35 Lightning II, an aircraft that symbolized the future of air combat. For Egypt, acquiring the F-35 meant more than upgrading its fleet. It was about maintaining military dominance in a volatile region. With Israel already flying the F-35, Egypt saw it as essential to keep pace with regional rivals. Egypt discreetly requested the jet from Washington, hoping decades of partnership would guarantee approval. But few anticipated the firm rejection that was about to arrive. Egypt's ambitions were clear, but the path ahead would be anything but straightforward. Washington's answer was a clear no. The U.S. refused to sell the F-35 to Egypt. The main reason: America's legal commitment to Israel's qualitative military edge, ensuring Israel's military superiority. U.S. officials also worried about Egypt's ties with Russia and China, fearing F-35 technology could leak. Human rights concerns and political repression added to Congress's unease. The U.S. offered upgraded F-16s instead, but for Egypt, it was just a consolation prize. The search for alternatives began. The American refusal left Egypt scrambling for options. The Air Force needed a stealth fighter to keep pace with regional rivals, and the U.S. door was now closed. Russia was the first alternative. Egypt already operated Russian hardware, and talks about the Su-57 stealth fighter had been ongoing. But the Su-57 program faced delays and doubts about its true stealth, and buying Russian would risk U.S. sanctions and jeopardize billions in American aid. France, a recent supplier of Rafale jets, was another option, but the Rafale wasn't a true stealth fighter. Other European projects were years away from export readiness. The reality set in: only the US and China had mature, export-ready fifth-generation fighters. Egypt's search for a new partner became a turning point in its foreign policy. Relying on a single patron had proven risky. Diversification was now essential. The American no became the catalyst for a strategic pivot. Egypt's leaders began looking east, toward Beijing. A new chapter was about to begin. China saw opportunity in Egypt's frustration. Chinese diplomats and defense executives quietly approached Cairo, offering the Shenyang J-31 Gerfalcon, a fifth-generation stealth fighter designed for export. Unlike the US, China imposed no political conditions, no lectures on human rights, no regional power calculations, just business. The offer included not only the jets, but also training, munitions, technology transfer, and even the possibility of local assembly in Egypt. Favorable loan terms and industrial cooperation made the deal even more attractive. For Egypt, this was a refreshing change from the strings-attached approach of Western suppliers. China's timing was perfect. The J-31 needed a launch customer, and Egypt needed a fifth-generation solution. A deal would validate China's fighter program and open the Middle Eastern market. The J-31 was presented not as a fallback, but as a smart, modern, and affordable choice. For Egypt, the Chinese proposal was quickly becoming irresistible. The stage was set for a historic partnership. Cairo was ready to make its move. Negotiations between Cairo and Beijing moved swiftly. By late 2025, a $4 billion agreement was ready for signing. Egypt would receive 24 J-31 fighters, advanced munitions, training, and a robust support system. Crucially, the deal included technology transfer and plans for a joint maintenance facility in Egypt. The signing ceremony was understated but momentous. Egypt and China, side by side, signaling a new era. The message was clear: Egypt was no longer dependent on Western suppliers. For Egypt, it was a reclaiming of agency over its defense policy. For China, it was a breakthrough into a market long dominated by the U.S. News of the deal reverberated globally. Analysts scrambled to assess the implications. The J-31's arrival marked a new chapter for Egypt's Air Force and a geopolitical earthquake in the arms trade. The dream of a fifth-generation fighter was finally a reality, just not from the source Egypt had expected. The balance of power in the region was shifting. The world was watching. The F-35 and J-31 represent two philosophies in fighter design. The F-35 is the gold standard, stealthy, networked, and a true quarterback in the sky, fusing data and sharing it across the battlefield. Its single-engine design reduces maintenance costs, and its software integration is unmatched. The J-31, visually similar, is a twin-engine export fighter. Its stealth is credible, especially from the front, but not as comprehensive as the F-35's. The J-31's main advantages, affordability, and no export restrictions. It offers advanced radar, modern munitions, and a stealthy airframe, enough to meet Egypt's core requirements. The F-35's edge lies in its sensor fusion and battlefield awareness, the result of decades of U.S. investment. The J-31 systems are advanced, but not as integrated. For Egypt, the J-31 is a massive leap over its current fleet, restoring technological parity in the region. It delivers about 80% of the F-35's stealth at a fraction of the cost, and without political headaches. For a nation denied the top option, the J-31 is a strategic victory. Egypt had found its answer. The J-31 sale to Egypt reshapes the Middle East's strategic landscape. For decades, the U.S. controlled access to advanced military tech, managing regional balances. The Egypt-China deal shatters that model, showing regional powers can now turn to China for top-tier systems. This erodes a key lever of U.S. influence and introduces a new variable into the region's security equation. For Israel, the presence of Chinese stealth fighters next door is a serious concern, narrowing the technological gap. Israel must now invest more in defense and intelligence, facing a new era of contested air superiority. For Gulf states like Saudi Arabia and the UAE, Egypt's pivot to China is a wake-up call and a template for their own negotiations. The deal could spark a regional arms race, with countries seeking either Chinese alternatives or renewed U.S. cooperation. China's arrival as a security partner marks a new era. The Middle East is now a multipolar chessboard. The old US-Russia dynamic is giving way to a three-way contest for influence. China is now a kingmaker, arming those left out by the West. The region's balance of power will never be the same. The world is watching the new rules take shape. The $4 billion handshake between Egypt and China is more than an arms deal. It's a symbol of global realignment. For decades, U.S. military technology was the ultimate prize, and American leadership shaped the world order. This agreement challenges that status quo, proving China can now offer credible alternatives in advanced weaponry. The deal is a warning to Washington. Using technology as leverage is less effective when rivals are ready to step in. Blocking the F-35 sale pushed Egypt into China's arms, forcing a rethink of U.S. export controls and foreign policy. For China, the J-31's first export customer legitimizes its place in the global arms market. Other nations now have a viable third option beyond the US and Russia. This could boost China's share of the defense market and expand its geopolitical influence. The Egypt-China deal is a pragmatic, transactional approach to international relations, one that's gaining traction. For many countries, China's non-ideological business-like partnerships are increasingly appealing. The old rules of global power are being rewritten. Egypt's pivot is a sign of the times. The world is entering a new era. The Egypt-China J-31 deal is a turning point for global military partnerships. Nations are no longer limited to choosing between East and West. Multiple power centers mean more options and leverage. Countries can now shop for military hardware in a competitive marketplace, balancing technology, cost, and politics. Hybrid air forces, mixing American, European, Russian, and Chinese jets, will become the norm. This reduces dependence on any single supplier and increases strategic autonomy. The U.S. must adapt, making its systems and alliances more attractive in a world of growing competition. The story of Egypt's quest for a fifth-generation fighter is a microcosm of a larger global shift. It began with a bid to deepen a traditional alliance and ended with a new partnership. The $4 billion J-31 deal is not just an end, but the start of a new era. Military partnerships will be more fluid and pragmatic, guided by national interest. The world is watching as the skies over the Middle East reflect this new multipolar reality.